Hi everyone, it's just me again. I wanted to share with you this morning, as well as the meander video, I wanted to share with you a couple little tips about stitch length. I think that's an area that most of us struggle with at some point or another. And you know, some of us have gone on and gotten those big fancy machines with the BSR and different things like that to kind of try to conquer this issue. Unfortunately, you can't use the BSR with our ruler feet. So you are back to having to be able to use, do it yourself. So a couple tricks that I've found that have worked really well for me as far as stitch length. We all get those really long, ugly toenail catchers, those big stitches, and I mean, they just look awful, and none of us like to look at them, but it's very hard to get control over that stitch length. So we're going to go ahead and sit down at our sewing machine. If you have a speed control here on the front of your machine, I want you to turn it a little bit above halfway. So if you don't worry about it. It's not a necessary thing. But if you do have that, put your speed at about a little bit more than halfway. The second thing is, when we have our foot pedal, they're shaped like this and they're kind of triangular. And what happens is we have a habit of running this like the gasoline in our car. And when we do that, we're going faster and we're going slower and we're going faster and we're going slower. Well, what that does is, if my hand is the needle going up and down, we end up with stitches that are going, and then we have, which means that we're getting long, 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 short, 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 long, 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 short, short, short. So we're getting a very inconsistent stitch. And part of the reason is because we're using this foot pedal like our gas pedal in our car. So if you turn your pedal around backwards and use it this way when you're trying to do your free motion quilting, we now don't have the ability to go faster, slower. We now only have on or off. We don't have an in between. So now instead of having we have a consistent speed. So that helps us because now we no longer have to think about our foot. We can only have to concentrate then on our hands moving our fabric at a constant speed. Once you've done that, if you notice your stitches are still a little bit long, I want you to go ahead and just turn your speed up a little bit more. If you notice your stitches are too short, you're going to want to turn your speed down a little bit more. Those of you who don't have a speed control on the front of your machine, you're going to want to, all you're going to have to do is worry about the speed of your hand. So if your stitches are too long, you need to slow down your hand movement. If your stitches are too short, you need to speed up your speed of your hands. These are just a couple things that I do that have really helped me conquer that stitch length. Thank you. Have a good day.